G'day team, it is time to check out the indie releases coming our way in December of 2024. Hello everyone, welcome back to a fictional escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is the indie releases coming our way in December 2024. We have a special guest, Ariana, who is not moving from that chair, apparently. So that is okay, she will be here with us today. As always, these lists do not come from me, they come from AJ Calvin and Rob J. Hayes, and I'll have both of their blogs linked down below. If you have a release coming out in the coming months over 2025, make sure you're checking these out because you can go ahead and put your releases on these lists and I will give it a video platform each and every month. Also down below you'll find links to my social media and Discord should you want to come along for the ride. Now we have a few to get through in December. It is the season of giving to oneself as well as others, so you can go ahead and load up your Kindle or your shelves with these wonderful books coming our way. Starting us off, we have Bloodfeather Symphony. This is by Amber L. Werner, and this is the Blood Song book number 3. It has a beautiful purple cover with some gold and silver tinges, which I'll be putting up here. I'm sorry, the lighting is not great today, but that is where we're going to be putting the covers. And I can't go too much into it because it's book 3, so we need to move on from there. Also, on the 1st of December, we have a horror entry called Minotaur, and this is by Josh Hansen, which is available on the very 1st of December to start your month off with a chilling set of short stories. Stories of the worlds that lie just below and behind this one. Grieving boy finds a doorway with a burnt-out house that opens into the past. A woman researching her dissertation on a famous Irish poet discovers secrets she wished she could forget. A red, lichenous growth raises out of the seas and destroys everything in its path. A boy discovers the crawl space beneath his house and begins a transformation that he cannot begin to understand. A couple find a strange pool in the trees behind their house, seeming to offer pure happiness but unleashing terror. A small Montana town is invaded by sovereign citizen militiamen and find no recourse but to open the door to an old mine, releasing what lives beneath. This sounds like it is quite the terrifying collection of short stories that is coming our way on December 1st, or has already come our way as this is coming out mid-month. On December 2nd, we had Unlucky Evens, Cursed Odds by Bill Adams. This is a sci-fi novella which is leaning into the post-apocalyptic slash dystopian side of things. It says the hateful path, that of the Ninth Born. The survival of the Ark, humanity's last bastion after God's wrath destroyed the world, is balanced by birth order. The odd-born are assigned a path, the even-born are given over to the will of God, and it is upon those of the ninth-born path to sanitize the evens. John's 59,129's, first walk as a Niner is the same day the scientists of the Ark plan to defy the gods by seeking to turn back time. An electrical surge sends John past the safety of the Ark into an unblemished world, a glimpse of perfection of all the even-born saved. But when John wakes, he's back in the Ark, 20 years after the failure to harness time. Was his encounter real, or just a dream caused by his accident? Are those in charge of the Ark keeping the oddborn caged? Is God the monster, or is it mankind? For John 59,129, to find out before his own child is born, he must be willing to play the odds. I'm wondering if that number is like 59129, now that I've read it. Potentially. On the 3rd of December, we have To Kill a God by Ben Galley. This is the Solison, I probably butchered that, Chronicles book number 3, and it looks like this. I need to get to the Emaneska series. I believe this series is a continuation of that, and the cover is no less stunning. But I don't want to read the blurb because I don't want spoilers to come your way. On the 3rd of December, we have Page's Pyre. This is Dragon Reek, book Rake. I got it. Book number 2 by Jordan Loyal Short. And this cover is, like, quietly stunning. At first glance, I didn't know, but then, like, the more I look at it, the more the colors just pop and they play together and the font is good, the placement is good. Now I have my own cover art. I can't stop thinking about it. So I don't know, I dig it, but it is a book 2. This is for fans of epic fantasy, steampunk, and Gaslamp, and I believe the first book had a bit of humor in there too, so if you like those sort of things, maybe check out this series. On the 5th of December, we have Forged in Moonlight by S.F. Heen, or Hain. Apologies if the pronunciation is off, and this is the Lunar Order Chronicles book number 2. And again, I just love purple. Purple on covers, the magic, the wispy blue, it's all working for me. It is a very nice visual to have, but it is a book 2. Also on the 5th of December, we have The City of Mist and Tears. This is by Alex Robbins, and it is the start of a new continuation series, I believe, called Mothers of Sorrow, and this is in the epic fantasy realm. And again, we've got those lovely blues and purples on the back of the cover here, and a not so lovely Death Doctor by the looks of things with some blades in their hands. It says, Kelsgrad, the city of iron and stone, rising from the mist-shrouded wasteland to pierce the pallid clouds. A colossal man-made mountain stretching a mile high, from the blood-stained alleyways of the slums to the crystal-studded spire of the Church of the Mother, whose amethyst shards shine brighter than any star. I pronounced this so confidently the first time, the second time my mouth tripped up on it. Kesselgrad both have Kesselgrad both a haven and a prison. There is no way in, no way out, for the city is under constant assault from an enemy that is as relentless as it is indomitable, a raging sea of churning white that encircles the crumbling walls in its cold embrace. Only the radiance of the Mother can stem the ravenous tide. Only the shield of her faith can keep her citizens safe. But there is a secret hidden deep within the ancient, decrepit heart of Kesselgrad. It is whispered in the darkness of the underground galleries, scratched into the mud, etched into the stone. The crystals are failing, their light is dying, and without their protection the mists will be free to enter Kesselgrad, to gorge themselves on the flesh of 1,000 helpless souls, to drain the life from every last being, man, woman, and child, until the city becomes a tomb. That sounds like an interesting read. On the 6th of December, we have Fiery Magic by Niranjan K. No stranger to these lists here, and this is an urban fantasy, sci-fantasy entry, and it says, time travel is risky and regulated, but breaking the law could save her life. Audrey is a hunter mage employed by the largest magical corporation in the country. Temporal Corps has an exclusive license for time travel, but the laws are strict. It is to be used only for exigencies approved by the government. I probably butchered that word. When she's sent to the past and poisoned on arrival, the only one Audrey can depend on is her partner Lyle, who is waiting safely in the future. He'll have to break at least a dozen laws to help her. Unfortunately, getting caught is a life sentence. Changing the past is a serious crime, but when she receives a message from another version of herself, Audrey realizes she may have no choice. It's a race against the clock, each choice possibly changing her future so much she'll never undo the damage. She might save her life, but she could lose everything and everyone that's important to her in the process. That one sounds a bit of fun as well. On the 6th of December, we have Guardians of the Sphere by J.S. Willis, and this cover is really cool. I'm digging basically everything about it here. It is a book 5, so I need to move on, but this is an epic fantasy sword and sorcery series, and the cover alone is making me go, I wonder what book 1 is like. That happens. It's a real risk of doing these lists. On December 8th, we have the Accidental Time Travelers Collective. This is an anthology by various authors, and it looks like this. This is a time-traveling anthology. I'm guessing there's a lot of stories in there about time travel, and it says third time's the charm. So if you like short story collections, maybe check this one on out. On the 9th of December, we have A Kingdom of Water and Destiny by Liz Kane. This is Portals of Science and Magic, book number 4. It is urban fantasy, epic fantasy, sword and sorcery, and YA. Destinies combined, a goddess freed, the possible end of two worlds lies at their feet. That's all I can give away, because of, you guessed it, it's a book 4. Also, on the 9th of December, we have Ghost Stations Inner Circle, book number 2 by M.D. Presley, and this is an urban fantasy entry to the list. Every memory leaves a mark, and we will need to mosey on over away from that because it is a book 2. A lot of second books, or sequels I should say, not just second books, in this series this month. On the 10th of December, we have another sequel, and one I know a few people are really gunning to get their hands on, and this is The Mage Killer by Christina K. Glover, and this may be my cover pick of the month here. This is urban fantasy. This is a fight to reconnect. I won't read any more of that. I know a few people are looking forward to this one. Also on the 10th, we have And Then You Were Gone by Ivy Logan. This is an urban fantasy / speculative fiction entry. It says Nina, a popular fantasy author, maintains a reclusive existence. Aside from Nina's work, her primary focus is her daughter Sophie. Incessant bullying at school and a public mortifying falling out with another girl sparks a downward spiral in Sophie's emotional state. Nina watches helplessly as her daughter appears to be unable to move past this unfortunate event. Nina grows so consumed with Sophie's suffering that she loses her desire to write. How does one help a teenage daughter in torment? But then Nina has an idea, an unorthodox method to help her daughter. She's going to write a story, bringing in a special character into Sophie's life. As the author, Nina can control the outcome of the story. Or can she? As fiction and reality blur, Nina realizes that things have gotten out of hand. In her story, the blessing she hoped for, or a curse she never expected. That sounds interesting, and like having teenage kids, I can't imagine. I was a teenage kid. I can't imagine looking after me as a teenager, let alone people who are going through that in real life, and just the torment that it must be to see your kids going through some stuff. On the 15th of December, we have Mark of a Hero by L. Cyrus Welchel, and this is a prequel to the Foreman War Chronicles in the cozy fantasy subgenre. As Grand Duchess of Livoria, Fusette Audrey, butchered all of that, finds herself in an odd position when a member of the rival Northern tribe is put forward for a prestigious position among the legendary Exarch Knights. When the conservative set within Parliament attempts to pressure her, will Fusette capitulate and brush off the young hero's valorous act as a lucky fluke? Or will she find the courage to stand against the public scrutiny and take a chance on a man many, including herself, consider wholly unworthy of the office to which he's been nominated? Interesting. Political cozy fantasy. I don't know if I've ever read any of that. I might have to have a look at that one. Also on the 15th of December, we have Waves of a Tempest by Jessica Barberi, and this was a close second to my cover pick of the month. I love the contrast and the rule of threes. I think has been used quite well here. This is the first entry, I believe, into Fires of an Empire saga. The Emperor of Parenthia rules with an iron fist. Young boys are torn from their families at just 10 years old, forced into military conscription. Soldiers are forbidden from marrying, while only the Emperor's loyal officers and nobility are permitted wives. Beliefs outside the greatness of the throne have been brutally crushed. Temples burned, devotees killed or enslaved. Yet a glimmer of hope persists in secret. Roshin grew up an orphan on the docks of the southern port of Ankala. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not confident. Taken in by a sister of faith of the Hulan Ahir. She was trained in the healing arts as well as the forbidden truths of the old religion. Traveling the country as a healer, Roshin has witnessed the Empire's oppressive degradation of the social order. But the reality hits home when she and her companions are seized and sold into bondage. With her world consumed by darkness, Roshin clings to the faith's prophecy that light will come on the back of a dragon. When a destined rider rises again to crush the Empire's tyranny, and now it seems that rider has arrived. That one sounds quite interesting. It's another one I might have to go ahead and look up after I film this video. On the 17th December, we have a big question mark by Rob J. Hayes. I can't give anything away about this. It just says anything for a fallen brother, and there's a very hidden cover reveal happening in there, but what I can see, I like. So, Rob J. Hayes may have been working on a secret project that none of us are privy to just yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on the 17th of December. On the 18th of December, we have the Palace of Winds trilogy, book number 3, which is Winds of Determination. This is by Karen Lakebo. Apologies if I pronounce that terribly. This is a book 3, and I like the greens on this cover. I don't know whether it's YA. The cover alone is giving me YA vibes. Maybe someone can correct me if they have read this series, but it is a book 3. And then finally, for our list for December, we have Asterius by Susana Imaginario, and I need to read something by this author. I have Obelie. I just bought it on the Kindle sales, but like the name alone is enough for me to be very intrigued. what these stories hold. This is a timelessness novella. It says it is Greek mythology retelling / slipstream. I don't know if I know what slipstream is. It says, my name is Asterius, yet I have never seen the stars. You all know me as the Minotaur. This is my story. The Minotaur himself relates to a mysterious listener the events that led to his death in the labyrinth, as he reflects upon the meaning of good versus evil, right versus wrong, and monsters versus heroes. I love the sound of that. Those were the releases coming our way in December of 2024. Are you going to pick any of these up to end out your year of buying? I probably will. Who are we kidding? If you like the content, give one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao.